Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for a demo of HireUp. I'm Ruthie Rubinovich, she, her.
I'm Greyson Elkins, he, him.
I'm Erin Untermeyer, she, her.
Gabby Mendez, she, her.
My name is Amy Carnesi. My pronouns are she, her.
We all know that the hiring process is riddled with unconscious bias and involves a heavy lift from both job seekers and employers. One study found that scientists who'd undergone training on how to hire objectively continued to demonstrate a preference for hiring men, viewing them as more skilled and offering to pay them around $4,000 more annually than women. As current job seekers, our team knows that it can take several hours to complete even one job application. All of that time and effort, multiplied by multiple applications, can feel insignificant when recognizing that employers will be quickly sifting through hundreds of similar resumes and cover letters. HireUp recognizes these pain points and aims to minimize them in the hiring process by turning resumes into true classifieds. By eliminating the need for individualized application materials and identifying information, we've boiled down the application process to the things applicants and employers care about most: skills and values.
As a job seeker, you can create a profile that highlights your skills and values. At the time of creation, a randomized codename and avatar are assigned to give your profile some personality while ensuring that you are kept anonymous. As an employer looking to hire, you have plenty of anonymous profiles to browse in order to find the perfect fit for your company. You'll start by selecting the skills and values that are most important to you, and HireUp will return all applicants that partially match that criteria. When you do find an applicant that looks like a good fit for your open role, you can send them a message and invite them to interview with your company. As an applicant, you can view all messages you've received from employers who are excited to get to know you further.
HireUp was built with a service-oriented architecture. Our front-end user-facing app is built in TypeScript with React hooks and router, and is tested with Jest. We consumed the Namey and DiceBear avatars APIs to generate the random code names and avatars used for applicant profiles, in addition to the API built by our own teammates.
Our backend API was written in Python with Flask and uses a SQL Alchemy ORM and PyTest for testing. Beyond the typical CRUD API endpoints, our backend also includes a search options endpoint that supplies the front end with the skills and values that are already associated with existing applicant profiles. This is intended to enhance the user experience as the search filters allow employers to only select options that will actually return applicants and avoids rendering a no search results empty state page. Both our front end and back end utilize Travis CI and Heroku for continuous integration and deployment.
During our 2-week development process, we encountered several wins and challenges. On the back end, it was exciting but challenging to learn a new framework, language, and ORM. Coming from a strong background in Active Record, writing queries in SQL Alchemy involved some extra consideration. We were able to rely on raw SQL at first to guide our efforts, and then port over the SQL Alchemy docs to refactor our queries. Our search endpoint proved most challenging in this sense. Another learning curve we worked with was learning how to manage the nuanced differences in connecting our Flask app and environment variables to our development versus test databases. Seeding the database was also less straightforward than in Rails and needed to be broken down into several steps.
Our biggest challenges on the front end were from TypeScript. As we added more features, we realized we'd requested inconsistent data types from the back end. To get around this while staying dry, we made more fetch calls than we had planned on. And as we move forward, cleaning the data from the API will be one of our main projects. We also had a difficult time typecasting data we hadn't created, like events and route props specifically.
Despite these challenges, our team was very focused on efficient organization, collaboration, and communication, which allowed us to overcome them. Everyone was always willing and available to help each other and keep the ball rolling. We were able to include some basic error handling for creating new applicants with missing fields and searching for applicants with no skill and value parameters. We're excited about having met our MVP feature goals and having a solid roadmap for how to expand on these features.
For future iterations of this app, we have a healthy backlog of features we'd like to add, such as expand the search functionality to allow employers to indicate whether they're open to partial matches for their criteria or that they're looking for exact matches. Let applicants specify their desired work locations and preferences for the types of companies they're interested in. Create functionality to allow employers to build company profiles. Implement a login for both job seekers and employers. Expand the messaging feature to allow for an applicant to respond to an employer message, as well as allow an applicant to indicate they are not interested in a company, which would prevent them from showing up in an employer's future searches. We would also like these messages to be timestamped. And finally, better error handling on both the front end and back end.
Thanks for tuning in to learn about HireUp. We look forward to answering any questions you have about the application and are happy to connect via the contact info listed here.